Hello, welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Cool Discussions. I'm Barry. This is Chris, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about something that's going on in the U.S. that might affect everybody in the world, I guess, who owns an iPhone or who has any type of Apple product.
Just phones in general. Actually, it's a privacy issue, so it's going to affect everybody.
It could potentially, but the angle that it's coming from right now is the Apple guys.
Yeah,
obviously. So in case you haven't heard, in the U.S., that San Bernardino shooting, the government asked Apple to unlock his phone because the guy died apparently, and so Apple.
He was the shooter.
Yeah, he was the shooter, and
they want
dead,
his
right?
phone. Yeah, he is dead.
Yeah, and
they
so
want
now,
his phone so they can figure out if there's more to it.
Now there's conflicting reports of some reports say that Apple has already given them all the information they can, and some say that they're refusing to unlock his phone. Now, from my understanding of it is this, that Apple is refusing to create a backdoor that would allow the federal government in the US to access anybody's phone. So what they would have to do is they would create a new iOS. I'm talking about iPhone because that's what I understand because I have one. They would create a new iOS system, which would have a backdoor in it where you could try somebody. Because right now, you try your password too many times, it deletes your phone. It erases your phone completely.
Yep.
And what they want is for Apple to create a backdoor where it says, "Well, I can try your password as many times as I want without erasing your telephone," which would mean that they have computers and how computers can kind of do lots of equations at the same time. So they could just have a computer go, okay, unlock this phone, and eventually, bam, get into their phone. So, and Apple, the CEO of Apple, I think Tim Cook is his name, has said we're not doing that. And pretty much is obviously in a little bit longer of a letter to customers saying, guys, we're not going to do this, and which is totally cool. My stance is this. Okay, I agree that this guy who shot up these people, his phone should be unlocked. His phone should be handed over to the authorities to see if there's any kind of else. But there shouldn't be a backdoor into other people's phones just to be there just cause. You know what I mean? Because, you hear people say, well, I talked about it with the guy I work with, and he's like, well, I got nothing to hide, so I don't care. And I said, well, you don't think you have anything to hide. But what if you're talking to your drug dealer because you want to get some marijuana in a text message, and they look at you and go, we're going to bust you now for carrying marijuana. You know what I mean? I don't know all the laws. I don't know the ins and outs of the legal system. You know what I mean? So what if you're doing something you don't realize is illegal? They go into your telephone, they find it, you go to jail for something you had no idea you were doing wrong.
True enough. But honestly, if you're having text messages with your drug dealer, that is kind of something to hide.
Well,
and someone is going to be aware that, I don't really want the government looking at that. I get it. The shooting was the whole reason, is a good example of why a system like that should have been in place, so that way the government can get information. However, we all know governments take it too far.
But shouldn't it be just a case-by-case basis? Like, couldn't they just go, hey, we have this case, guys,
No.
we need your help with it,
No.
Can you help us out?
No. Apple, one, says they can't do it, says they won't do it, and two, Apple actually says they can't do it because of the encryption code. Even Apple doesn't have a master key for it. So they would have to do it exactly the same way as everybody else.
Right.
So the whole reason why the government wants a backdoor program is so they don't have to worry about deleting the phone, because depending on which version of an iPhone you have, you can set it up so if somebody enters in the password so many times incorrectly, it actually erases all of your data.
It's an automatic fail-safe in it.
Yeah.
It's automatic. You don't set it up to how many times you want. It's
Oh,
automatic. I think
okay.
I've never tried it, but
I wouldn't want to try
no,
it.
but I know that it's automatically in there. If you find my iPhone and you try to go into it right now, and you say 10 times, it just automatically wipes my phone clean. So, when does it end though? Like, if you create that back door for that, when does it overstep a boundary?
Well, that's the thing. The government the U.S. government has been known to overstep its bounds quite regularly.
And
Just, I think the NSA, National Security Agency, they have too many blacklist programs out there already doing all this stuff. There was Mr. Snowden. He was he leaked some stuff because he felt that the government shouldn't be spying on people the way that they are spying on them. And it's like, well, we know that the government already does it. And should they be allowed to continue doing it?
I don't think so. I think it doesn't matter. I think you need to have some right of privacy. What if I have naked pictures of my wife on my telephone? Somebody hacks my telephone because of this backdoor, because that there's going to be hackers out there who are going to know how to access it. What if somebody leaves? What if somebody gets let go from the government who knows the information how to use that? And then what happens if private information of somebody's gets out onto the internet? That's what I'm talking about.
That's the key point of not. That's the key argument of not having backdoor programs, is because if it's there, someone will figure out how to use it, and someone will figure out how to use it with nefarious intentions behind it.
Exactly.
So I don't think there should be a backdoor program, but it would be nice to think that you could have a master key.
Yeah, but then who holds the master key? That's the thing. Where does the master key stand? And
the CEO of Apple.
Yeah.
He would hold the master key, and then it would come to them, and it was base to base. That's it. It would be, and we're not. To me, a master key would be applied to one phone. It unlocks it. It does what you need to do.
There has to be
but
a way,
it's not a. It shouldn't be a general program.
Yeah.
It should literally be like a physical copy.
It shouldn't just be in every. It shouldn't just be in the general operating system of any software. It should be, this is a case where we need to get into this person's phone because, okay, we're going to do that. And then that program is like, essentially that code is destroyed. And a new code has to be written to as a master key, so to speak. You know what I mean? So if the CEO moves on, that master key is destroyed, and a new code is written, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, because no guarantee.
That's wishful thinking.
Yeah,
we'd love to be able to think that something like that does exist. Now here's the twist to this whole argument. Okay, the federal government for years has been saying, all companies should have a backdoor program and all their stuff so that the governments can access it whenever they want.
Yeah.
Now, this time, the federal government has asked for the one phone to be unlocked, not all of them. So, from what I understand, this case is just about one phone, not all of them.
From what I understand, like I said, that's where the conflicting is coming from, is that, some things that you read say that Apple's turned over all the information that they can get to the investigators, to the FBI, right? So it's like, and now Apple is saying, well, we're not going to create it for everybody.
No, and it's true. Apple's allowed to do that. Samsung's allowed to do that. Yeah. Whoever wants, they can do that. If they wanted to, they can make a backdoor program. It would just have to be disclosed in paperwork. Saying, we have a backdoor.
It'd be in the terms of agreement that nobody reads.
But so the federal government said, "Hey, we want it just this one phone," and you get your conflicting information. Now, a third party has actually jumped in. John McAfee, the person behind the McAfee antivirus program. Yeah. He is running to be president of the United States under the Libertarian Movement. Ooh. So he's a third-party president. Whoop-de-doo, that means absolutely nothing in the States. In Canada, it could mean something, but in the States, it means nothing. He has offered to have his team of hackers break into the phone for free. And he goes on to list, I will do it for free because the people that I have working for me are able to do it because they are not, for lack of a better term, they're not suits. Because the CIA and the FBI, when they hire hackers, they tend to be run-of-the-mill hackers. They don't tend to be the hackers you see from movies. So Mr. McAfee went on to say, it's like, yeah, I have the FBI isn't willing to hire people because they might have a mohawk or want to smoke weed during their shift because it helps them work better, and that's why we are losing the cyber war to the Chinese, because the Chinese have no ethical quarrels about hiring the best. It doesn't matter what they have as a personal side life. It's just, you're a great hacker, boom, you're hired.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Like, if you want to create the best antivirus, the best protection of that, you need the best who are hacking. You need the best hackers to get in. So that's what I want. I don't want my phone sitting here being hacked into. Well, you hack into my phone if you want. Like, there's nothing on there.
You could try to hack into my phone, but I can guarantee you it will not happen.
Exist. His phone, so, you know.
You can hack into landlines. I just don't know if you can really do anything.
I don't know what's there's
it.
nothing on there. There'd be nothing on the landline, that's for sure. Maybe a couple voicemails, maybe a couple.
yeah, that's it. So that's the huge twist about the whole thing. Is like McAfee has said, "Hey, I'll do this for free," and it's like, "Hey, you should take him up on his offer because he could do it." Because I don't know about you, but if Apple comes across as the type that hires suits to make products, not the
you wonder what kind of
eclectic type of people to make stuff. McAfee, he comes right down and says, "Is like, yeah, I have a guy with a mohawk. I have a guy who smokes." Well, he didn't say he had those people, but he said the FBI didn't hire those people, and he did. So you kind of get the impression that he has a guy with a mohawk
probably
working for him, and a guy who smokes.
That's why he has a great security. That's why he has a great internet security system. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So
because he tries to get the best to hack in to beat his he has a security team that creates stuff, and then his hackers go, "All right, we'll get into it."
Yeah.
And they do, and they make it better. So
yeah. Because there's always a challenge whenever Apple comes out with a new phone. They go, first person to hack into it gets X amount of dollars. And it never ever takes a long time. It's normally done within 2 months.
Yeah, well, it can be done. That's what I mean. Like, obviously, this person's phone can get unlocked. There's somebody out there who can unlock his phone.
Yeah.
So in this case, let's get his phone unlocked. Let's see if there's any other information. Done. We don't need any other backdoors so that my phone or Joe Blow's phone can get
if the federal government is serious about having it on a case-to-case basis, which they said they wanted it for this phone, they should literally just go, you know what, let's hire some real hackers and get it broken. Because one way or the other, even if Apple does have a backdoor program for their iOS, they're not going to tell people.
No.
And they're not going to say, well, we do. No, they're going to be very quiet about it and do what they need to do with it and make sure nobody else knows about it. So, get some hackers, crack it open, and
that's right. Find out if there's a more terrorists out there, which we know there is. So let's get this phone open, and hopefully it can help. But as far as the ability to hack everybody's phone, I have nothing to hide, but I don't want to have to wonder who's listening to my conversation or who's watching my conversation. Who cares if I'm just talking about, honey, can you pick up milk at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. You have to have... When does it become a police state or a police province? You know what I mean? That's my concern, is that if we give in to this now, what next? Because when you look all the way back to 2001, September 11, right? You look prior to that, and you look at going to an airport. When you got on an airplane, I could still take my water bottle and my... I didn't have to wait in 3-hour security lines, and now it's...
A long time.
You can't bring your water. You can't bring this. You can't bring
that. Was it worth it?
Is it... Yeah, like, how much of our freedom are we willing to give up? I understand we need safety, and we want to be safe, but at the same time, we can't give up our freedom. We can't give up our privacy.
In some regards, it's just the government should use unconventional methods to do what needs to be done.
Outside the box.
Yeah. hiring a real hacker to do something like that, that's thinking outside the box, and that's
right.
something that needs to be done. Rather than going to the courts and going, well, all programs, well, that's just way too much power for somebody to have.
But I think you need to, number one, you need to take personal responsibility with your passwords, your passcodes, and, you know, like, you don't forget your passcode on your telephone, number one. Don't write your passwords down where somebody can find them. You know what I mean? Make your passwords.
It's better to have your passwords written down on pieces of paper. Now, you hide the paper, obviously, but it's better to have a hard copy somewhere.
Definitely. But don't carry it in your purse or your pocket or
no.
Don't keep it on you at all
should
times.
be
It should be somewhere, maybe in a safe if you have a safe at your house.
under your mattress.
Yeah, somewhere like that, something like
with
that.
the money.
But you know, make your passwords something. Don't do anything that
not your birthday.
Yeah, not your birthday, not your pet
birthdays.
name, not your nothing like that. Like nothing like that. Make sure that your passwords are long enough. Have characters, numbers, symbols, all that stuff in there to make sure that so that they don't get hacked. You know what I mean? Change your passwords every 3 months if you have to. You know, just make sure.
That's always a lot of work.
Man, it's annoying when you sign up to something new. Please include a
password,
uppercase, a lower, and the number, and a fucking DNA strand.
Hold on. Let me find some paper so I can write this password down because you know you're gonna forget about it. And it's kind of nice that apps and Windows, for that matter, come up with, do you want us to say that password? Oh, do you want us to say that?
Yes. Is this a
very
public...
convenient?
Yeah.
But it can be one of those easy hack things.
Don't save it on a public computer. You know what I mean?
Don't let your friends touch your stuff.
Yeah. You know,
don't let your family touch your stuff.
Let us know what you guys think. Tell us if you if you're okay with the backdoor.
Do you have anything to hide? If so, do you not want people to look at it?
Exactly. How do you feel about what the U.S. government is proposing? Because it guaranteed Apple is a worldwide company, so it would affect everybody. If Apple creates this backdoor, Android, Samsung, whatever, everybody's going to have to do it.
Yeah, because if the federal government wins in court, it's easily transferable to any other phone company.
So it's going to affect everybody around the world.
Yeah, it's nice that Apple's fighting for us. However, they're not really fighting for us. They're fighting for themselves. But we just happen to benefit from it.
Right.
So
let us know what you think on Facebook. Facebook/Coull Discussions. Or even below in the comments.
Comments below.
Yeah.
So
comment on the video below. Make sure you give us a like or a dislike, whichever you would prefer. But if you give us one of these, leave a comment. Tell us why you don't like us. If you give us one of these, tell us why you like us too. Maybe it's our cool hats. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, share, comment,
listen to us on iTunes.
Yes.
You can subscribe as well.
Yep.
You get the whole show on iTunes.
That's right, uncut. Bam,
yes, uncut from beginning to end.
The whole hour and a half of us.
Wow. Is it really an hour and a half?
Well, sometimes
yeah.
hour and a half.
Depending on how long we can droll on about a subject.
That's right. Other than that, guys, just again, thank you for tuning in and give us some of your time. We'll see you again.
Okay, thanks. Talk to you later.